Top 10 most intimidating referees in NFL history. What if I told you some NFL players feared the referees more than their opponents? But these aren't just whistleblowers, they're field generals. In the countdown, we dive into the 10 most intimidating referees in NFL history. These men didn't just call the game, they owned it. With booming voices, commanding presence, and no tolerance for nonsense, they made even the toughest players think twice. So, lace up, because number 10 is about to throw the first flag. Gene Steratore, 2003 to 2018, the voice of authority. Before Gene Steratore became a famous face on television breaking down calls, he was someone NFL players respected and even dreaded. From 2003 to 2018, Steratore became known as the voice of authority. His deep, powerful tone was more than just for show. It was how he controlled the game. When his whistle rang, the players understood it was time to settle in. He did not require theatrics or ego. Steratore possessed the uncommon ability to take complete control of a game without making it about himself. Even future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers once referred to him as his favorite ref of all time, which is saying a lot coming from someone who has seen everything on the field. Rodgers stated Steratore could control a game without being a part of it, which aptly describes him. Steratore was not simply respected, he was trusted. He called things out, held players accountable, and kept the game moving forward. And when he spoke, everyone listened. That kind of presence cannot be taught, it must be earned. He also officiated 2 Super Bowls, which is the NFL's way of saying, yeah, this guy's the real deal. Gene Steratore didn't only enforce the regulations, he established the tone. Quiet, professional, and in complete control. That is what made him remarkable. Ben Dreith, referee, 1960s to 1980s, giving him the business. Back in the gritty, hard-hitting days of the NFL, Ben Dreith was the type of official you avoided. Dreith was the perfect old-school official, towering, gruff, and straight to the point. He didn't care if you were a rookie or a Hall of Famer. If you broke the rules, he told you. But what truly transformed him into a cult hero? One unforgettable moment in 1986. Dreith threw a flag at a Buffalo Bills lineman, and in his trademark severe tone, warned the entire stadium that the player was giving him the business down there. Nobody had heard a call like that before. It was direct, funny, and entirely Ben Dreith. That line instantly became part of NFL history, and is still used in highlight reels and memes today. However, Dreith was remembered for more than just one line. His baritone voice, no-nonsense manner, and strong demeanor made him one of the most intimidating referees of his era. In an era dominated by hard-hitting legends, he managed to stand out. Players paid attention when he spoke. The coaches understood better than to dispute. Ben Dreith did more than merely enforce the rules. He ensured that everyone felt them. And with one iconic comment, he proved even referees could leave a lasting mark on the game. Walt Anderson, referee, 2013 to the present, ironclad imposer. When Walt Anderson steps onto the field, you know things are about to get serious. He's not flamboyant or loud, but make no mistake, the man means business. Anderson, a former collegiate basketball official turned NFL referee, exudes a calm, no-nonsense demeanor that immediately commands respect. What distinguishes him apart? It's all in the delivery. His calls are precise. His gaze is ice cold. And when there's a major foul, don't be surprised if he slams his headset or tosses his whistle with gusto. It's not showboating. Anderson is simply letting you know he's in charge. While some referees rely on personality or catchphrases, Walt Anderson's strength is his unwavering control. He doesn't flinch, even when he flags superstar players. What's with the quiet toughness? Other officials enjoy having it on the crew, because when Walt is on the field, the game remains tight, clean, and in control. He may not be the most theatrical referee, but his tough demeanor and no-favorites approach have earned him a place among the most respected and intimidating referees still in charge today. Walt Anderson's presence eliminates unnecessary distractions and focuses solely on football. Tony Corrente, referee, 1995 to 2019, the fiery veteran. Tony Corrente was much more than a referee. He was a force to be reckoned with. With his crisp white hair, blazing intensity, and no-filter attitude, He brought a unique atmosphere to the NFL field. Corrente was the league's oldest official from 1995 to 2019, although you wouldn't know it based on how he worked the game. What made him stand out? Emotion. The guy did not keep anything bottled up. On one unforgettable occasion, he mistakenly left his microphone on and dropped an F-bomb while speaking to his colleagues. Sure, the league penalized him, but it also served as a reminder that Corrente was serious about business. Players were aware that they should not mess around. He'd throw a flag in an instant if someone stepped out of line, rookie or superstar. That fire, that intensity, is precisely why he commanded so much respect. Even if he lost his cool occasionally, he always kept the game under control. By the end of his career in 2019, Corrente had officiated 3 Super Bowls, a huge honor that demonstrated his trustworthiness. He did not simply enforce the regulations, he battled to keep them. Tony Corrente was a force to be reckoned with, known for his loud, powerful, and unmistakable presence. Walt Coleman, referee, 1989 to 2018. Mr. Tuck Rule. Walt Coleman may not be a familiar name for every NFL fan, but believe me, his impact is legendary, especially if you've heard of the famed Tuck Rule game. Coleman spent over 30 years on the field, and while he made numerous calls, one stood out among the others. Coleman faced a critical moment during a Raiders playoff game against the Patriots in the winter of 2001. Tom Brady seemed to fumble, but after studying the play, Coleman used the rarely enforced Tuck Rule and declared the ball incomplete. That call kept New England in the game, allowing them to tie and ultimately win in overtime. Talk about pressure. Coleman's reputation was built not only on that one call, but also on his calm, consistent presence during 261 NFL games. Teams understood Walt was not the kind to be spooked by the brightest lights. When he made a decision, it was straightforward, confident, and final. That type of calmness is unusual, which is why referees like Coleman are legendary. So while Mr. Tuck Rule generated controversy, he handled it with professionalism, making him one of the most dependable referees in NFL history. Bill Vinovich, referee, 2001 to 2007, and 2012 to the present, the comeback chief. Bill Vinovich is the type of referee whose experience pays off for itself. He's not flamboyant or loud, but when he goes on the field, everyone knows who's in command. His journey has not been easy. In 2007, a significant heart issue caused him to leave the field, and many believed his career was gone. But Bill wasn't finished. After years away, he made a spectacular comeback in 2012, demonstrating that passion and determination can overcome adversity. And he did not just return, he returned in style. Vinovich has now headed officiating crews for 3 Super Bowls, including Super Bowl 58 in 2024. That is no small feat. He's called 19 postseason games, and the NFL continues to trust him with the most important moments because he is so reliable. His signals are clear, his temper is stable, and he approaches the game with complete respect. Players might not always agree with his calls, but they respect the man who blows the whistle. Vinovich is more than simply a referee. He's a comeback story, a leader, and one of the most admired officials in contemporary NFL history. Every moment he comes on the field, you know the game is in capable hands. Terry McAulay, referee, 2001 to 2017, 2-time Super Bowl boss. Terry McAulay was the type of referee who flourished under intense circumstances. He has 2 Super Bowl rings, Super Bowl 49 and 50, and shows no signs of nervousness. He used a whistle to compel players' attention and a tone that said, "Don't test me." Even years later, Aaron Rodgers described him as a fantastic referee. That is not a compliment offered lightly. McAulay was not afraid of the spotlight or the associated heat. During the 2013 playoffs, when a Tennessee coach attempted to charge onto the field, McAulay flung him without blinking. What about safeguarding quarterbacks? He didn't hesitate to throw roughing the passer penalties, even when it meant changing the game. One of his most talked about calls came during the Packers-Seahawks game. A late helmet-to-helmet hit sparked debate, but McAulay remained strong. That's what made him unique. He didn't flinch, fold, or let emotions influence his decision. Terry McAulay did not waste time with his players. He brought calm authority into turmoil, and that's why the league kept giving him the most important games. When McAulay was in command, you knew the game would be close, fair, and under control. Jerome Boger, referee, 2006 to 2022, the groundbreaker. Jerome Boger was more than simply a person in stripes, he was a game changer. From 2006 until 2022, he gave calm, control, and quiet authority to some of the NFL's most pivotal moments. In 2013, he became only the second African-American referee to oversee a Super Bowl, Super Bowl 48, cementing his legend. But Boger's narrative goes far deeper. Remember the dramatic moment when Albert Haynesworth stepped on a player's helmet? Yes, Boger was in control that day. He did not flinch. He handled the commotion, delivered the expulsion, and the NFL eventually punished Haynesworth with a rare suspension. That event demonstrated to everyone, fans, coaches, and players, that Boger was not there to pick favorites or fold under pressure. What set him apart? His calm voice, unwavering presence, and complete command of the field. He remained calm even in the most stressful situations. His tone never changed, and his authority never wavered. For 17 seasons, Jerome Boger led games with a serene confidence that garnered him widespread respect. He didn't merely enforce the rules, he also shaped how they were followed. That's why when Boger took the field, everyone knew the game was in good hands. Mike Carey, referee, 1995 to 2013, the grandfather of authority. Mike Carey had a commanding presence that drew everyone in. With his deep, booming voice and distinctive gray mustache, he resembled the grandpa of authority and acted accordingly. From 1995 until 2013, Carey didn't simply call games, he led them. He made history in 2008 as the first African-American referee to preside over a Super Bowl, Super Bowl 42, and he didn't simply show up there, he owned it. The same year, coaches tied him for first place in a best referee poll. Respect like that is difficult to come by in the NFL. And here's an interesting statistic. By 2002, Mike Carey had expelled more players than any other active ref. We're talking about huge names like Sean Taylor and Terrell Suggs, who don't scare easily. But what happened when Carey locked eyes with you? Game over. You know not to push your luck. He didn't yell or brag, he just had that quiet, solid energy that suggested, I've got this. After 18 seasons, he retired in 2014, leaving behind a reputation for fairness, steadiness, and unwavering control. Coaches may have questioned calls, but no one challenged Mike Carey. Ed Hochuli, referee, 1990 to 2017, the sheriff. Ed Hochuli wasn't your typical referee, he was the sheriff for a reason. Standing 6 foot 2 inches tall and weighing over 230 pounds, this guy seemed like he could suit out as a linebacker rather than call penalties. Fans and players enjoy joking about it, especially after watching him go nude in his off-field exercise videos, demonstrating he could certainly outlift several NFL players. He stood out for more than simply his size. Hochuli's speech on the field was powerful enough to rock the stadium. When he delivered penalties, he didn't merely blow a whistle and make a gesture, he delivered them like a preacher. Everyone, from coaches to cheerleaders, knew what was going on. So it's no surprise that in 2008, coaches voted him the greatest referee. With 2 Super Bowls and numerous postseason games under his belt, Ed's combination of confidence, stature, and straightforward explanations earned him legendary status. Players knew better than to try the sheriff, since he was more than just blowing whistles, he was keeping order and ensuring that everyone followed the rules. Thanks for sticking with us through this intense whistle-stop tour of the NFL's most intimidating referees. These officials didn't just call games, they commanded respect, controlled chaos, and left legends shaking in their cleats. Whose ref's presence would you fear most on the field? Drop your pick below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic sports countdowns.